All right, so I'm sure you guys have heard of liquidity sweeps, stop loss hunts, and market makers pushing price past the key level just to stop everyone out, or a bunch of people go short on the trade and then it reverses in the opposite direction so the market makers could get a better feel on their positions. And this fools a lot of retail because it breaks the market structure of long, so it looks like the trend is switching to short. It breaks the previous low and then immediately reverses in the opposite direction. Now, this is a super important thing to be aware of, obviously, as a trader, because if you can identify these liquidity sweeps, these stop loss hunts in real time, it's going to help you have a real edge in the market. And what I want to do in this video is show you an indicator that helps you identify these liquidity sweeps, and it does this by using volatility in the market. Okay, this isn't a magic indicator or anything. It's a very straightforward indicator that measures volatility, and almost every time this indicator triggers, it means a liquidity sweep is happening right now. And I personally have been using this indicator myself, and it's actually helped me a lot with identifying the bottoms of market and just not getting faked out by the trend so much. So I actually use this indicator today combined with my strategy, and I'm making around $1,400 on NASDAQ on my live trading account. Again, this indicator really helps with identifying liquidity sweeps or the bottom of markets where price is going to reverse, or the low a day, for example. It helps a lot with that. So I personally like to trade NQ. You can use this on ES as well. And I trade this on a 5-minute time frame. So the indicator is right here. It's called Williams VIX Fix, and it measures the volatility of the VIX, right? So basically these green bars go up when volatility is high, and typically when volatility is, way higher than normal, that tends to be the bottom of the markets, right? That's when sellers tend to get exhausted. So during these high volatility moments when price is crashing, right, this is typically when smart money is actually buying, okay? And these green bars signal when it's going on. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is go over to indicators and just type in Williams VIX Fix. And you're going to see it right here. Just add this over to your chart. And then as far as the settings go, I don't change anything. I leave everything default. And this is what it's going to look like on your chart. All right, so remember, this is a 5-minute time frame. I also like to use Heikin-Ashi candles for this, but you don't have to. Okay, so anyways, as you can see, market open 7:30 my time. What happens is we sell off, right? This is this morning. We sell off very aggressively. That's what we've been doing the past week or so. Today's February 24th, for anyone wondering if you want to go and backtest this. Anyways, we just have a massive sell-off. This is a few hundred points. What happens? Green bars start spiking up. And what you want to do is you want to wait for a non-green bar to appear. And that shows that the volatility is falling down, which basically means sellers are getting exhausted. And as these bars go down, basically sellers are becoming more comfortable with the price that we're at. Okay, so as we're going up, the bars are going down, sellers are becoming more and more comfortable where the price is at, which is why we're not having big swings anymore. We're just slowly grinding up at this point. Now, as you can see, when there's a green bar and then there's a gray bar, right? So the volatility drops. What happens is it makes a colored candle. You can't see it too well, but it makes a colored candle in the body, right? It did it here, as you can see. Green bars again, and then made another color candle here, right? Because the bars switched to gray. So what you want to look at for this strategy is you want to look at the highest green bar, okay? As you can see, the highest green bar is this one right here. And the highest green bar is what I call the trap candle, right? So this is where all the short sellers get trapped. Okay, so this is where, if you're trading this is where your stop loss will go. As you can see, I had my stop loss down here. Now, just because we get a green bar, then a gray bar, right, and we get a colored candle, it doesn't mean I go long right away. And by the way, this only works with long. There's a way to reverse it, but I personally only use this for longs to make it easier, and there's usually at least one setup per day. So once there's a colored candle, do I go long right away? No, I don't. Like I said, I want to confirm price action. So what I want to do is, if we're under VWAP, I want to make sure there's high volume down here, right? So I want to see some volume spikes. So this is a volume indicator. And as you can see, there's volume spikes at the lows, right? You see these red bars down here. That means there's an increase in volume. Okay, so that checks out since we are trading against the trend. The next thing I'm looking for is, once this colored bar appears, right, and the green bars go away, I'm looking for the next candle, or any candle, to close above this color candle. Okay, as you can see, this candle did not close above this color candle, so I simply could not enter the trade. What happened again, right? We got some more volatility kicking in, some more selling. Eventually, sellers got exhausted. They gave up. Buyers started stepping back in. We got another color candle. And what happened on this next candle, right? Price closed above the colored candle. Now notice there wasn't any volume spikes on this second low, but since there's volume spikes on this low, right, this is where I want to put my stop. Okay, the only point in the volume spikes is a place to put my stop loss. So even on this trade that I took where I entered right here at 520, right, I still had to put my stop way down here at 435 under this first low, since that's where the volume was. So anyways, my entry was here. I was risking around 90 points, and I ended up making around 90 points on this trade. Basically just took it near VWAP. So it depends how you want to manage this trade. Sometimes you can go for 1-to-1, 2-to-1s, 3-to-1s. It just depends on the market structure and the volatility. But usually I like to take it to an old support or resistance level or the VWAP area, right? Obviously you can decide how you want to manage the trade, but the point of this is you can know where the bottom of the market is, where potential liquidity sweeps are. Okay, we can go back to a previous day. So we're just going to go back one day at a time. I'm not going to cherry pick any of this. And this is Friday, February 21st. If you guys remember this day, we had a massive sell-off. Okay, we went from 21,200 all the way down to 21,600. It's a 400 point sell-off day. As you can see, we opened up the market, started selling off, got all these green bars, right? We got a colored bar as soon as the green bar stopped, right? Price closed above this candle. Now, why did I not enter long right here? Well, as you can see on the lows, right, the highest trap candles, there was no volume spike. And since we're trading against a trend, that's an invalid setup for me. So I simply did not enter. As you can see, we kept selling off, never got another setup the rest of the day because we just sold off the whole day. Okay, now we can go back to the previous day. We're gonna go to Thursday, February 20th. As you can see, market opened up, we sold off again, right? Green bar stop, we got this colored candle, right, on the gray bar. And on the lows, we see we did get a volume spike, so that checked out. Price action closed above this candle. As you can see, this is where we can enter long, right? So we'd end up entering right here. We have to put our stop below the trap candle, below the volume, and then you can ride this up to whatever resistance you want, right? Maybe it's up here, and it would have taken a while, but it eventually hit it towards the end of the day. Now, keep in mind, if you get a really late entry and the resistance is kind of close, like this risk reward isn't that good, it's a 0.86, keep in mind, you can just wait for a pullback, right? As long as we hold these lows, the trade setup is still valid. So if you feel like you're entering too late, just put a limit order down here, right? And sometimes it'll hit, sometimes it won't. In this case, it did hit on this pullback, right? And now we have a way better risk reward, or we can go for less of an extreme target, maybe go for a 1-to-1, and you'll get something like that. And this target would have hit within an hour. We can go back to Wednesday, for example. All right, again, I'm just going back every day. And since we're on a 5-minute time frame, you can back test this like the past 3 or 4 months, and you can really see how well this actually works. So anyways, as you can see, market open 7:30 my time. What happened? We get a bunch of green bars, right? Sellers get exhausted. Green bar stop, we get this colored candle. Price action closes above the colored candle, right? So what do? We enter on this candle, or we can wait for a pullback. In this case, we have a decent risk reward. We got to put our stop on the highest green candle, which is right here. Make sure it has volume spike. Okay, it does. If you can see that. All right, so trade's going to look like this, and then we can run it up to our resistance area up here, right? For that 1.1 risk reward. All right, so we can do that. Maybe you take this trade, or maybe you missed it, right? As you can see, we get another opportunity here. This one's trading more with the trend, so you can also trade the strategy with the trend. As you can see, right, we're kind of chopping around right here. We get some volatility kicking in on this low, and look what happens here, right? This is a typical stop loss hunt, okay? We had this previous low, right? It fakes everyone out. People go short here, or it triggers these people's stop losses. What happens? It immediately reverses. We get the colored candle, right? We get this candle to close above it. What happened? We can enter right here, right above this candle, and then put our stop below the trap candle, and then ride it to new highs for the day, or in this case, it would be pre-market highs. You get another solid trade going in. Okay, so keep in mind, this strategy, I only recommend using it during market hours when it's more volatile. If you're doing it after hours, it's probably not gonna work as well. But again, you can back test this for yourself. If you're trading against the trend, just make sure you have volume spikes on the lows like I showed you. That's going to help you avoid a lot of stop losses. If you're trading with the trend, then those volume spikes don't matter as much. But even on this one, we had a volume spike, so it gave even more confirmation. You can see these red bars down here. So that's basically the two ways that I like to use this indicator is, if you're trading with the trend, get in on the pullbacks just like we did on here, right? We get in on the pullback. Or if you're trading against the trend, we can find those market bottoms just like we did on this day or like we did on this day, right? Or like we did, this day had no confirmation because there's no volume spikes, if you remember that. But just like we did today as well, right? We found the market bottom. This is after a 200-point sell-off, and we didn't even have to get faked out right here and sit in this drawdown, right? We were able to get in a trade with no drawdown at all. So it really is quite an incredible indicator, whether you're trading with the trend, getting in on the pullbacks, or you're just trying to find the market bottoms and you're doing more of a reversal strategy. You can even add in key levels to this. Like if there's a key support level, gives you extra confirmation for the trade. You kind of get the point. So anyways, guys, I hope you found value out of this video. I haven't seen really anyone talk about, I've heard people talk about the VIX, but this indicator makes it super easy to use. And it's literally something anyone can understand and implement in their trading as soon as tomorrow morning. So real quick before you guys leave, if you guys want access to my free Discord community, I post my trading plans every single day here for the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. I post my levels, my chart, and my trading plan as well. So if you guys want access to this along with our trading floor where you can chat with all kinds of other members, you can ask me questions in here. Like I said, this community is completely free to join. We don't charge any money for you to join this. So we'd love to have you inside. If you guys do want access to this community, all you have to do is go to the first link in the description below this video, or just head over to this link right here. That being said, guys, as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video with another day trading lesson.